Let's do something together. 4 notes. Sing. Da 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 da, da 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 da, da da da, da da da, da 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 da. Da, 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 da. Beautiful. Every single cognitive domain your brain uses to navigate this world, you just used it in a few minutes with music. You were coordinating your breath, your voice, timing, taking cues from me. Your brain is already musical. You just forgot. That melody, we'll come back to it. And when we do, I want you to jump in straight away. I don't want you to hesitate. Start singing. Okay? Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for me. It's really important. Okay? This instrument is called a sarod. You play it with the edge of the finger nails. Actually, in the past, in India, players used to use fish. They'd pluck the hard scales from the fish and stick it onto their fingernails, and apparently that gave you great tone. In the right hand, you play with a plectrum. This is made out of coconut. The sound chamber is covered with sheepskin. The plate is stainless steel. The strings are phosphor bronze and stainless steel. And the body of the instrument is one piece of teak wood. The teak used to come from forests in Burma, but with the climate changing, those forests are all gone now. So this instrument comes from a tree in Madhya Pradesh. And then when you get all these elements together, you get the sound of the sarod, the sound that I fell in love with as a boy. Growing up in London, I used to be so embarrassed of going to Indian concerts. I just didn't want to go. And my parents would drag me along. And they weren't slick and polished like the Western orchestras and musicals. You know, those work like clockwork. The lights dim, the conductor walks on, and boom, music. In the Indian concerts, the musicians would just be tuning and twanging and hammering and sighing dramatically. The audience is left wondering, is this the concert? Has he started? He's still tuning? You sort of start to get PTSD just watching these musicians in an existential battle with their instruments. But if you haven't been to an Indian classical concert, don't worry. Here's some glorious tuning, just for you. Of course, I feel differently about it now, because these instruments are in themselves alive. The wood listens to the space it's in. So does the skin. They react to the temperature in the air. It's hot today. The moisture. They ask me to recognize that I'm here at this particular place, at this particular time, with you. So it's not just the strings that I'm tuning, I'm also preparing my ears and yours too. So the instrument is a bridge through which we align. I tune myself to you and you to me through resonance and frequencies, and that takes a little bit of time. So the sound of tuning that used to embarrass me as a brown boy growing up in London was just the sound of human connections being made. Before we had language, we had music. The author and neuroscientist Daniel Levitin argues that music was the original social technology. Not tools, not language. Music was the glue that bonded early human groups. There was a researcher in Oxford, Robin Dunbar, who wanted to test this. So he got different groups together and he gave them different tasks. One of the groups, he got them to sing. And afterwards, he measured their pain threshold. Now, pain threshold is a proxy for endorphin release, which is the same system that activates when you feel really bonded with someone. So he tested them, and out of all the groups doing different things, it was the singers who had the highest pain threshold. After just one sitting, strangers singing together. Let's think about what that means. You don't need years of friendship. You don't need a shared history. You just need to sing together once, and your brain decides you're bonded. Your body releases endorphins. You literally feel less pain because you feel more connected. Music does that in minutes. Then there's research from 2018, a meta-analysis from 2021 that shows that neuroscientists working with stroke patients, Parkinson's, cognitive decline, they're finding something remarkable. When patients train using irregular meters, when they have to think hard about rhythm, their brains build something called cognitive reserve. That's reorganization in real time. It's neural rewiring. And that rewiring is protective. Your brain literally learns to protect itself through rhythm. You don't believe me? Okay, we'll try it. We'll try it now. Okay, 7 beats. Let's do a rhythm exercise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then knock, 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 then. Okay, too complex. 6. Then knock, 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 then knock. 5. Dinna, 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 dinna. 4. Dinna, 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 dinna. Beautiful, beautiful. See, your brain was searching for the 4 all along. It's the pulse in every pop song. It's the clock. It's the known. 7 was uncomfortable. 6. Unfamiliar. 5, that's a difficult one. But 4, all of you felt it in the room simultaneously. You locked in. And that's because music is the oldest social handshake we have. Da 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 da, da 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 da, da da da. Da 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 da, da 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 da, da 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 da, da da da, da 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 da. I learned this instrument from a master musician, an educator in India. His name was Pandit Buddhadev Das Gupta. He was my guru, and he taught me many rags. I remember he used to say, now look, you have to play the rag at the prescribed time of day. Bhairav is played at dawn, Malkos is played in the middle of the night. Bahar is played in the spring season. Malhar should be played in the monsoons. And I learnt that as tradition, as a rule, a musical rule. It wasn't until after he passed that I realized that what my 80-year-old music teacher was sharing with me was the profound system of circadian science. And that the ancient musicians of India had understood something fundamental about the human body, that our mood, our energy, and our psychology changes with the rotation of the earth. And by mapping, assigning frequencies, notes, phrases to the shifting light of the day and the turning of the seasons, they weren't just making music, they were creating a sonic mirror to the human mind, years before there was an EEG system to prove it. And so that's why for most of my life I've carried this instrument, traveled across borders, playing at concert halls and festivals, but also in schools and mental health clinics and care homes. A few years ago, I was working with the wonderful Dr. Nahid Muqaddam, a professor of psychiatry at UCL. And we were in a care home in Tower Hamlets, East London. And many of the elderly residents were migrants. They'd moved here, built lives, families, and now, towards the end, they were losing those memories. We started playing some tunes. First, Elvis. There was a little unlocking, a head tilted. Then Dolly Parton and Beatles, and people started smiling, looking at each other. Something had shifted in the room. And then one of the carers played a Bengali song, and a woman who was sitting at the back, silent, with her arms folded, she began to sing, full words. Someone else joined in, an Indian man. These two hadn't spoken to each other, but there they were singing a duet in their native tongue, and the whole room felt it. Later, Dr. Muqaddam said to me, "See, this is what we can't prescribe. Music gives you back the memories of who you were before you became a patient." For a few minutes, we weren't with elderly people in a care center living with dementia. For a few minutes, the jigsaw fit. It'll always stay with me, that melody she sang. I'll always hold it in my memory. And maybe after today, I hope you will too. You know it already. Da 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 da, da 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 da, da da da, da 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 da. Thank you.